My name is Charles Wymer. I am the Vice President of Zion Lutheran Church Council, and today I would like to send a message out to all of our members and our visitors and guests at Zion. This past Sunday, we had our outdoor church service, and following that church service, we had a congregational conversation, which took into account some general announcements, but two major items that I want to make sure everyone who was unavailable to be at church on Sunday has an opportunity to hear from us, so that we all have the same message. Just by way of kind of updating a couple things around the church, this past week we were able to finish the room upstairs, which we call the church parlor. We've been working on that project actually since January, and with getting the floor sanded and refinished, that project is now done. It just needs to get the furniture moved back in, and we're real pleased with that. Also, this week we were able to finish up the Jasper Davis Memorial Project, in which we've got the sidewalk in to the upper cemetery by the new gate, and this was again some retouching up of some landscaping around, and seeding and fertilizing and grass and straw being put down. That project will be done. Two big projects that we've been working on. Through the pandemic, it's created some times when we couldn't be able to get through it as quickly as maybe we wanted to, but they are now done, and we're really pleased with them. There are two items that we announced in the for our meeting at the outdoor service. One dealt with church security issues. Unfortunately, we live in a time when things can have been going on where people come on to play our property, and they're not doing desirable things. We have over the last couple of weeks, we've had 5 or 6 instances where people have come on our property, and it hasn't been for good reasons. I won't go through all the details, other than to say that the most recent one that we had, we talked with the sheriff's department, and they feel like it may have been a situation where people were maybe under the influence of drugs on the property, and that's not good. Related to that, it was Pastor Pence, our former pastor, had an incident on his property similar, and with him talking with the sheriff's department, they said that until the property was officially posted, that there wasn't a whole lot they could do. That being said, and the fact that we're having similar instances, and actually even more than the pastor Pence has had, we as a council have decided that we need to go ahead and post our property for trespass, so that if we do have instances that come back to us, then we have some legal recourse to pursue to try to keep these people off. This past week we put up new signs that said to all of our visitors and family members that we welcome you. The sign actually says, "Welcome to Zion Evangelical Lutheran Church, family members and visitors." But the sign also says, "Unauthorized persons found on the property will be subject to prosecution for trespassing." This is a legal situation that we have to make sure we have in order to protect ourselves and enable us to keep these people off the property. Also, this past week, we have met with Dominion Power to upgrade our lighting system in the parking lot. The light we have right now is not sufficient, but they will be able to come in and do some work in analyzing what the right type of light should be, and the wattage on it. And as soon as we can get that information back, we will be working with Dominion Power to light our parking lot up as much as we possibly can. We also will be replacing the light on the pole out behind the back parking lot by the kitchen, so that again that area will be illuminated. And the third thing we'll be doing as far as lighting, we will put the front door lights on a timer so that they're on from 6 p.m. in the evening to 6 a.m. in the morning. Again, trying to light up all the areas where, we have ways where people could access our building and be on our property. And so we'll take care of that and work on that as quickly as we possibly can. A third thing that we're going to do also is we have because of the safety for our pastor, safety concerns for our pastor, we have asked him to lock the door at all times. We've got a sign presently that says, welcome to the church. If you need to come in, just to give him a call on the church phone, and he'll be glad to come down and open the door. We have since then began to look at putting in some type of a doorbell system that he can look at and monitor so that we know who's at the door, and then we can easily allow you into the church. It's for safety. It's for safety. As you well know, Pastor is here most of the time by himself, and it would be easy for someone to come in unannounced, and we certainly don't want to put him in any jeopardy from something that could go wrong in that situation. Again, when you're looking at safety, you can be proactive or you can be reactive. It's been the stance of our council, and for members that we've talked with, that we need to be as proactive as we possibly can. We hope that these measures will, sort of do the trick for us at this point and be sufficient. However, we also begin to look at, video surveillance systems and monitoring, and that's available to us if and when we may need to go to that direction. We hope that the changes that we're making at this point will take care of the problem, and we'll go from there. We will see. The last item I want to talk to you about is probably the biggest item for you. Is council has now proposed a plan to have indoor church services again. It will necessitate using both the sanctuary and the fellowship hall. We feel like with the guidelines regarding the social distancing and spacing, that we can create enough space between the sanctuary and the fellowship hall in order to accommodate what we generally have as a normal attendance for a Sunday service. We have begun to get the equipment that we need in order to do that. We will be able to broadcast the service from the sanctuary down into the fellowship hall on Sunday mornings, and that will allow us to again be able, we hopefully, to open up. Please remember though that all the guidelines and regulations that are associated with the COVID virus are still things that we have to contend with, and we have to make sure that we plan for in order to again protect the well-being and safety of all of our members who attend. As to a date in which we will be able to do this, we've ordered equipment, we've got to get it in, we've got to test it and make sure everything works. We need to do the final prep and physically setting up the church to enable us to have these services. And I cannot give you a specific date, but it's our hope that in the near future, we will be able to announce that opening date. And prior to that, I plan to come back on with another video message from council, just kind of outlining to you some of the practices and procedures that we'll need to follow in order for us to make sure we provide a meaningful service that's providing also for the well-being and safety of everybody in attendance. So we will get back to you at that point. That being said, I don't think there's anything else the council wanted me to report to you beyond this. We do appreciate, again, your continued support of council. We continue your continued financial support to our budget and to help us with the operational expenses of the church. And we look forward to meeting with you again in this format in order to announce the final plans and the announcement coming that we will be able to get back together as a church family in our church. Thank you, and have a nice weekend.